Welcome to Bastard Quest. I'm your lore bastard, Kyle.
I think I'm Todd.
I'm Corey.
I'm Austin.
We're playing the One Ring. So we have played the One Ring previously. It may do you some good to go back to those episodes first to be introduced to Zip, Easel, and Bungo Tuk Tuk.
Yes.
Correct.
Which is Todd's. Todd, who's Bungo Tuk Tuk?
Bungo Tuk Tuk is a hobbit.
Austin, what sort of gracious and peaceful person do you play in this one?
Well, I'm Zip the dwarf. I'm an explorer, an adventurer, and a fighter. I can't run very fast.
Zip is probably going to be featured on a true crime podcast. Corey, who do you got?
I'm Ezel, and I'm an elf, and I'm reasonable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, if you've watched Rings of Power, are you more Arondir or Legolas?
Like charged and
John Cocktoast.
yeah.
On the subject of the ridiculous name of Todd's Hobbit, Bungo Tuk Tuk. I don't know if you guys know much about how Tolkien wrote Lord of the Rings, right?
Yeah, like just writing until he ran out of shit and then starting the fuck over.
Yeah, essentially, he did not have an outline. He would just start writing something of interest to him.
I was assuming a typewriter.
Probably a typewriter, yes. And if he got to a problem, he would just, go back to his life teaching at Oxford. Then when he had an idea for how to solve it, he would start over from the very beginning. So there's lots of drafts of Lord of the Rings.
That's also why the Shire is like 40% of the fucking Fellowship.
Also true. And lots of changes, understandably. For example, the character Strider was originally much more like a hobbit, and his name was Trotter. And he wore shoes.
What?
Is that true?
That is
making
true.
that up?
No, that is true.
God damn it.
But it got,
From
obviously,
Trotter
it
to
got
Strider.
changed, right? I mean, Strider is much better. Frodo Baggins' original name was Bingo.
Bungo
Hey,
Starkiller?
What?
It was Bingo.
Are you serious?
I'm 100% serious.
it's like Yoda's original name was like Buffy or some shit.
Oh,
yeah,
yes.
Yoda's was crazy, yeah.
Yeah. Bingo.
So, in the last adventure with Bungo, Zip, and Easel, they ventured into the halls of Hadirian. They put the haunted spirit of the Númenorian Lady Elwyn to rest. They drove off the bandits led by Herc Oarsman and returned safely to the village of Bree. If you're unfamiliar, the One Ring RPG has 3 distinct phases of play. There's the journey, which is from here to there. There's the adventure phase where they're at the location, fighting bad guys, dealing with traps and difficulties. And then there's the fellowship phase. This is the downtime phase. This is the phase that we are going to start with tonight. So before we started, I did give you guys treasure. Todd and Corey, I believe you each have 9 points of treasure. Austin, how many do you have?
I have 22.
Right, because you grave robbed,
Yeah.
essentially.
Yep.
So a fellowship, first thing you do in a fellowship phase is set the duration. This is going to be a couple of weeks that the 3 of you are in Bree, rehabilitating.
Hold on, this is Lord of the Rings. We're in a
Yes.
new place. You got to do something like, it's like, behold, Bree. And like the music swells,
Yeah.
and there's a 7-minute establishing shot of David. They're so proud of the model they made. They just have to show every fucking detail.
Yeah.
The show's like that too. Like it's
Yeah.
amazing. It's like the halls of Wabbledab. It's
Yeah,
like,
that's true. Though Bree is just a medieval mud village.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
well,
7
we have
minutes
been here
of
before.
Yeah, 7 minutes of cows crapping in a field.
But a majestic medieval mud village.
There's just a slow, long push-in shot on that cameo shot of Peter Jackson eating a carrot.
yeah.
So this is a real break from active adventuring, and this is where you spend experience points and advance your characters.
Oh, cool.
So there are 2 different types of essentially experience in the One Ring. There are skill points and adventure points. You get 3 skill points at the end of every gaming session that you attend. So we've had 4 previous sessions of the One Ring. So you each get 12 skill points, and you get 3 adventure points at the end of each gaming session as well. So you each get 12 adventure points. Just as a caveat, there's a special fellowship phase called Yule, which is the end of the year. In Yule, you can get a little bit more skill points, but that doesn't apply to this fellowship phase.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
So now,
Quick question.
Yes.
What can we do with adventure points and skill points?
Todd, I'm glad you asked. For every skill point, if you give me $1, I allow you to advance your character. No.
Let me see how much I got.
One part of the fellowship phase is called perform updates, and that is where you spend your accumulated XP. So basically, you can do training, which is where you spend skill points to develop your skill ratings. You don't have to spend all your skill points. You can save some. So, for example, let's say you have a skill or combat proficiency that has nothing in it. That would be 4 skill or adventure points to advance. You use skill points to advance your skills and adventure points to advance combat proficiencies, by the way.
And if this is confusing to you, you probably haven't listened to the first One Ring adventure we did, because we're not going to go over all the rules again and all that. But if you want to go back and listen to the old adventure, it's on there.
Yes. You can also get what's called a Valor or Wisdom rank, which is essentially special abilities, and those require adventure points. So we advanced a lot of this off air because we didn't want to get down into the weeds, but we are going to go over briefly how everybody spent their experience points. Corey, what did Easel get?
So I pretty much just boosted stats. I gave myself skill die in places I didn't have it, pretty much. Travel, which we quickly found out was very important in this game.
It's used quite a bit.
Yeah. Did courtesy, insight, and explore. And then with my adventure points, so it costs more points if you already had like multiple die. So I spent all of my adventure points to make my bow's combat proficiency 3 dice.
Yeah, it's very cheap to go from 1 to 2 points in a skill. It's very expensive to go from 3 to 4.
Yeah, so I didn't do anything to change my Valor or Wisdom, which gives us new skills, but the short fellers did.
Yeah, Austin, you advanced both your Valor and your Wisdom, right?
I did. I spent all 12 of my adventure points, 8 of which bringing bows up from a 1 to a 2, and then spent 2 points each on Valor and Wisdom, bringing those both up to a rank 2. For Valor, I got another reward in addition to my Keen Matic of close-fitting mail coat. Close-fitting armor is just more protective, so I got a +2 to my protection die roll for my mail coat. My virtue for my new rank of Wisdom was Prowess, which allows you to lower the target number of one of your main attributes by 1. My Wits target number was originally a 16, and that encompasses things like stealth rolls, scanning, exploring, riddles, lore, and I brought that down to a 15.
Nice. Now, Todd, you didn't advance both, but you did advance your Wisdom, right?
I did. I only spent 2 adventure points, and that was to advance my wisdom.
Oh, yeah, I did. You said we could keep leftovers if we want.
Correct.
I still have 2 skill points left over, by the way.
Yeah. You don't have to spend all your experience points in this game. You can stockpile them, which is basically required for some of the more high-level skills.
Right.
That's what I'm doing. Because I kept all my skill points and only spent 2 adventure points. I spent those 2 adventure points to raise my wisdom to 2,
right,
which gave me another virtue.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
And the virtue I chose was mastery, which allows me to make 2 skills favored that were not previously favored.
Yeah, and favored is pretty much like rolling with advantage in this game.
Yeah, you roll 2 of the feat die, 2 of the D12s instead of 1.
And I used that mastery to become favored in insight and song.
Fuck my life.
Can you spend any of these points to change your name?
I'm not.
Okay. Well, also everyone regained some of their hope points.
Yes.
And of course, endurance and things are gone.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I also used some of my skill points to raise my stealth and healing skills to 1.
Cool. Well, hey, Dr. Zip.
God.
My ultimate goal is to raise my song to not just favored, but a level 6.
Of course.
We got it, Bono.
Oh, God. Bono Tuk.
Bono Tuk, yes.
And we also, all of our endurance is back, which is kind of our hit points in this game.
Yes.
And our hope, which is kind of a currency we can spell.
Yeah, some of which I think everybody regained up to max hope, but that wouldn't necessarily be the case.
Yeah, and we don't have fatigue anymore. If we were weary or miserable, that's gone.
Right.
And you lose 1 point of shadow.
Yeah.
So Austin still has about 14 probably.
Well, I actually have 0 shadow, but I do still have that 1 shadow scar.
Now, also, I did roll in the treasure tables previously to recording. So everyone got treasure points, but unfortunately, no magic items were generated.
How does that work?
So when you find, it's called a hoard of treasure, and there's lesser, greater, or exemplary or something. You roll a number of success dice to see how many raw treasure points are generated per person, and that is just gold and silver, precious items. You also roll a number of feat dice, and if you roll a 1 or a 12, which is variously the Eye of Sauron or the Gandalf rune, you can find a magic item. Unfortunately, I rolled a good number of feat dice, but no magic items were created.
That boy didn't show up.
Yeah, thanks a fucking lot.
Yeah. Well, if you roll the Eye of Sauron too, you get a magic item, but it's tainted.
Oh, okay.
So is what I was hoping for, but sadly, no.
Yeah.
So undertakings are things that your characters are doing during the fellowship phase other than just rest and recovery. You all choose as a group which one you're going to do. Now, depending on your characters, you may be able to do some for free. So here's your options. You can gather rumors. You can receive a rumor from the lore master, which could lead to different adventure. If you have a warden, you can choose this activity as a free undertaking, but I don't think any of you took warden. You can heal scars.
Ooh, Austin, you have a scar, right?
Yeah.
He has a shadow scar.
Shadow scar.
Yeah.
So you can spend 5 adventure points and remove 1 shadow scar.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Too
But
late
we'd
for
have to
that.
agree to do that as a group.
Correct. You can meet a patron, which would be a new patron.
Nay.
Well, you don't lose your old
Wait,
one.
which horse was that, Corey?
Oh.
You don't lose your
Not
old one.
Colby.
You just add to your inventory of patrons.
Okay.
Gotcha.
You can ponder storied and figured maps. So when Bilbo was going over the maps and ruminating and Bag End, that sort of thing. If you have a scholar, you can choose this activity as a free undertaking, which I believe you do.
Bungo Tuk is a scholar.
Right.
Obviously.
This would be Bungo talking to people in the Prancing Pony, trading stories.
Behold, the prancing pony.
It's going around the ship in Star Trek, but it's just the bar and the Prancing Pony. So what this means mechanically is until the next fellowship phase, you can apply a modifier of +1 to all feat die rolls made to determine the nature of events during the event resolution step of a journey. You can raise an heir.
Oh, shit. How long is this fellowship phase?
Like our son?
Like, right?
So
Do we procreate? What do we?
3 men and a baby all of a sudden. the role-playing game.
That's what we need is a baby to take on our quest.
you can
Oh
actually
my
only
god, there's a ghost behind that curtain.
the point there is that essentially you set up your secondary character in case your character dies.
Oh god.
Yeah.
Oh, I like the sound of this. Is right up my fucking alley.
Wow.
Yeah, Austin, you may want to do this a couple times. But you can only do that during the Yule downtime.
So we got to wait till December.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you fuck somebody at Christmas, and later on you can keep playing the game.
Well, basically, I mean, we all donated semen. We just don't know which one took.
Yeah, we have to go on Mari Earth.
So you can also strengthen the fellowship, which is you add a +1 to your fellowship rating until the next fellowship phase.
Okay.
Yeah.
If you have a captain, you can choose this activity as a free undertaking.
Oh, that's me.
Are you captain?
Yeah.
Okay.
Captain shit.
You could study magical items, which you don't have any. A
Yeah.
treasure hunter could do that as a free undertaking. You could write a song.
What was that?
Yeah, you could write a song. If you have a
Nay.
champion, you can choose this as a free undertaking.
I'm a champion,
So that can be done as a free
I
undertaking.
bet he votes
but
no.
I'm the one writing the song, right?
Yes.
Okay.
No, not necessarily.
okay.
A company, including a champion, can choose this activity as a free undertaking. It
No,
doesn't say
we
that.
all do this together, Paul.
But what that does is choose this undertaking to compose a song, choosing whether it will be a lay, a song of victory, or a walking song. And they each do
The
different
three
things.
genres of Middle Earth.
I'm very excited about the prospect of a walking song.
I'm walking. Actually, it's the Pantera version of Walk.
Walk.
That is a good marching song, actually.
It really is.
It's got a good cadence.
I like it.
Yeah, I do that. Pantera's Walk is our walking song.
Yes.
When you are involved in a council, combat, or journey, the heroes can sing a song to rouse themselves to pursue their goals.
Okay.
So to do so, first choose a song from among those on the company song list, how you create that through the write a song undertaking.
Oh, okay.
And it has to be something that applies to the current event, which is combat, journey, or council. And when you do the undertaking, you decide which one it's going to be. Then you make a song roll, which Todd is very good at.
Okay.
Heroes
Any
six-
of us can make the song roll, though?
I think everybody rolls.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Heroes succeeding in the role ignore the effects of being weary for the length of the heroic venture.
Holy shit.
Nice.
Damn.
We should probably
So-
do that. If
Yeah,
it's
I
a
think
free
so.
thing for me, so.
Yeah.
And I'm also going to take the free endeavor of upping our fellowship. Is it increasing our fellowship score?
Yeah.
Okay,
A
so
fellowship rating by +1.
Okay, so we're all 5.
Now, you have to specify if you're writing a lay, a song of victory, or a walking song. The lay is for councils, which we have not done yet. The song of victory is combat.
Okay.
And the walking song is, shockingly, a journey.
What do you guys want to do? Combat or walking? Or?
I think combat.
Yeah.
I love the idea
Okay.
Of just singing, singing while we're fighting.
of singing some.
Oh no, I've been stabbed.
It's kind of like Middle Earth cop rock.
Yeah, warriors sing stirring songs in combat to lift their spirit and renew their lust for battle.
Yes.
Okay.
Just picture us all hacking and slashing while singing something like "This is the song that
Well-
never ends."
I mean, it could be also something like a haka, right?
Right.
I mean,
Or
yes,
A dwarf
culturally
haka zip
appropriate.
out there.
Sure. It's not gonna be that.
Zip. Oh, trust me, Zip's going to be a beat off, a step off.
Bungo's already working on lyrics.
All right, so you guys have done 3 of the free ones. You just need to pick one of the not free ones.
Okay.
So I'm a big fan of the rumor one.
So the ones you could get that you haven't are gather rumors, meet a patron, or study magical items, which you don't have any magical.
I want to meet Herc Oarsman. Like the gather rumors thing, the only thing I have against that is like it sounds like some side quest shit. Which I don't know if we want to get that bogged down in that.
Yeah.
I know
If our listeners
Austin's
know anything about me, I'm always down for Destiny side quests.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's more probably intended for somebody that's playing, a group that's playing this exclusively for a while.
Right.
Yeah.
But you could also do any of the ones you've already done again.
Do we want to get another patron? And would that add to our fellowship score as well? Our fellowship score is the 3 of us and our patron.
It would change your fellowship score when you were doing things for that specific patron.
Oh, okay, I see.
Yeah. So if you met Gandalf showed him, be like, hey, go here and kick this guy.
Yeah.
Then you would use
Sounds like him.
Gandalf's rating instead of
boy.
Gilraen's. Yeah.
Okay.
I just noticed something that we've. This is a good example of how reading the rules is important.
Okay.
So you can do 1 undertaking and 1 free undertaking, meaning you could each not do the free undertaking for having a scholar or a champion or whatever. So essentially, you guys could do one of the ones you've already discussed and then another one, but you're going to have to choose one of the undertakings you've quote unquote done to drop.
Okay.
I'll drop mine. I'm fine with that.
Pouring over
So then we
maps
can
and
just keep
such.
the other
Yeah.
two.
Yeah, keep the increased fellowship and
Yeah.
the song.
Okay,
Yeah.
because that also kind of sounds side questy.
Right.
As well.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
If it was free, yeah, sure, why not?
Sure. But yeah, if it's going to, I'll drop the ponder.
Now, during the Yule fellowship phase, which is the Christmas special one, there's more options. Like some of those, like healing a scar, you can only do that during Yule, raising an heir, etc. So
Cool.
that is the end of the fellowship phase. So the 3 of you, Zip, Easel, and Bungo Tuk Tuk, had returned to Bree because you were due to meet Gilraen the Fair and give to her the crown that you retrieved from the halls of Idarian. And she was due to meet you on a certain date. She does not arrive. The 12th, the 13th, the 14th all fall off the map. The night of the 15th, the 3 of you are in the tap room of the Prancing Pony.
Of course.
Behold the tap room of the Prancing Pony.
Camera spins around 14 times.
Drone shot of the taps.
The puddle of piss in the floor.
It is late in the evening. You're just about to return to your rooms. The beer is flat. Even the smoke from the tobacco pipes is dissipating. When the door to the inn is thrown open, Gilraen storms in, muddy, wet from rain, flustered, looking around. She points, you. This way, now.
Ezel says, "You're late."
Gilraen throws a sword across the room, impales Easel through the urethra.
Jesus.
Hope you got an heir. No, she gestures outside. Come on, quickly. Outside there are a trio of men of the north, rangers of Arnor. Rough men, black leather clothes, heavily armed on horses. She says something to them in Elvish, which I assume Easel speaks, I would hope.
Yes.
She tells them to, essentially, she's ordering them to head east and one to head west. And they give their affirmations and variously depart at speed. She mounts another horse and looks at the three of you. Head south on the Greenway, with haste. You're looking for a party of pilgrims. They'll be disguised as simple folk. They are not. They will have a wagon with them. Take them and its contents.
Does that mean we could kill them?
She raises an eyebrow, spurs her horse, and rides off into the night.
So
I'm taking that as a yes. Okay, bye.
So is that any pilgrims at all? There could be a lot. Okay, bye.
Well, you would know the Greenway is called the Greenway because it's overgrown and very rarely used anymore. It's the old road that would have gone to Gondor.
Yeah, that's the road we took to get down to
Indeed.
the first landmark of our journey.
Yeah. It would be rare to find actual, real pilgrims on the Greenway in this day.
Okay.
Well, we're looking for pilgrims. 1, 2, buckle my shoe.
All right, well, I guess we're saddling up. Come here, Kenny.
So you saddle Kenny and the mediocre horse, and
Bungo does not saddle Colby. He just,
No?
he's just leading him along.
sure, well,
Yeah.
you don't want to stress the old boy out.
I mean, even a hobbit is a bit too much for him to carry these days.
You get them out of the stables, and Colby just looks at you and goes,
That mule sucks. Not to hurt its feelings, but come on.
he almost dies twice before you get out of breath.
He's not a mule, he's a horse.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah.
Who is taking on the role of the guide for this journey?
That would be me.
Yeah, the guy is the one in charge of the route, rest, and supplies. We also need a hunter in charge of finding food in the wild. Last time that was Bungo.
I think Bungo will take on that role again.
Yes. Last time you brought us what you called pizza rolls.
Yes.
And it was a pine cone.
Is Easel still the lookout?
Yep.
And the scout is... Last time it was Zip. Okay. So your journey path is pretty straightforward. She just said, follow the Greenway.
Excuse me, I'm going to go into the forest and forage for hot pockets.
So, Austin, roll your travel.
So my travel is favored, and I also have a skill of 3 in it, and my target number is a 16. All right, no special symbols, but I rolled a total of 19.
All right, so for the first event of the journey, I'm going to roll a die to see who it hits, and that is the scout.
Okay.
Roll a feat die for the journey event.
So Kyle, these rolls you're making, are these basically a random encounter generator?
Basically, yeah. The journey phase can generate a number of random events, like death. I don't think you can actually die.
A coconut falls on your head.
Sure, coconuts, yeah.
I'm just in the forest trying to find a plant that makes those little mini corn dogs.
So, Austin, there's an ill choice facing Zip the Scout.
Uh-oh.
Oh, God.
Make an explore roll.
Okay. Zip has an explorer of 2. Target number's 15.
This is happening along a road, so you do get an extra die.
Ooh, okay.
Why's that?
It's more friendly terrain.
Oh, okay.
Like if you were in
Lava?
the barrow, if you were in lava, you would lose a die.
Okay.
Or if you were in a place like the Barrow Downs,
Or if they're in water. I don't know what that voice was. If you're in water.
it's like somebody was
I think that was more Rowan Atkinson. I don't know what's
somebody's
going
drowning Rowan Atkinson in a bathtub. Roll your explorer, Austin.
Okay. Oh, there's that boy.
I love that boy.
All
on.
right.
Boy.
So I rolled a total, also with 1 success, of 20 even.
So you guys do a forced march, walking through the night, stopping only briefly, into the dark of the next evening, heading south, and fortunately, Zip, on one of his scouts ahead, spots depressions in the grass where a wagon left the road.
Bungo goes to Easel and is like, look, I found me some pancakes there in the forest. And it's just like a couple of mushrooms.
The poisonous kind. Yeah. And Zip follows this barely discernible depressions in the grass, which any other person might have counted off as just deer trails or something. After about a mile in a small copse of trees, he sees a camp with fire, men in gray robes, and a wagon covered The journey is ended. You each gain 3 fatigue. Could have been more, but Austin rolled well. You didn't gain a shadow point, Austin.
Okay.
And the adventures before you. Zip is in the tall grass, which is still wet from the rain earlier in the evening. It has mostly died away now. And just a couple 100 feet away in this small copse of trees, the leaves are just beginning to bud in the spring. You can see a fire, men moving around, talking quietly, if at all. So Zip hurries back up the road to where Easel and Bungo are taking their rest.
Hey, fellas, I got the pilgrims just up ahead. They left the road and they're making camp in the tall grass over here, about a mile away.
Well done, dwarf. Let's kill them.
Yeah, I reckon we tie up the horses here and just make our way on foot.
I'm just gonna. I'm just waking up. I'm not a fan of the tall grass.
What's happening to you, Bungo?
I don't like the tall grass. It's very hard for me to see over.
I know. The same thing happens to me. I get pink eye every time I walk through the tall grass. But
What kind of tall grass are you walking through?
Are people, because people wipe with it? Is that what?
no, have y'all ever dealt with livestock?
No. Austin.
Yes, I have. I've never gotten pink eye.
No, humans don't get pink eye from it, but like livestock will get pink eye if grass is lit.
Great joke, Austin.
I mean, yeah. I guess that's true.
I
was just thinking of it in a human context.
It's just if you want to tell a joke, make it relatable. Is what I always say.
Look, right now there's a farmer from Wyoming
Herc
who's
Oarsman
losing
probably
his
knows
mind.
exactly what the fuck I'm talking about.
Absolutely,
But, I
he
mean,
stays in the
obviously.
water.
Yeah, but if there's anybody who's listening to this who's in the FFA, they are losing their shit
They
right
love
now.
it. They love it. Okay, so you guys have the location of these false pilgrims. It's a moonless night, and the rain is picking up again. What is your plan? You're about a mile and a half away.
All right, so I say we've got the cover of the darkness because there's no moon, and the rain will cover the sound of our footsteps. I'd say we could get pretty close to them and try to strike with the element of surprise.
First things first, get your ghillie suits.
Because we're going into Chernobyl.
Yeah. I believe stealth is the way to go here. How many men did you say were there?
You saw 5 men.
I saw 5 men
You saw 5 men-sized figures.
and a wagon.
Is there anything I can do to kind of get a closer look and try to scrutinize what exactly we're dealing with here?
Yeah, I mean, you can always just sneak up there and look at them.
Ezel, what do your elf eyes see?
Okay, I'm going to get a closer look.
You gonna use stealth?
Sure.
Okay, so you have definitely 2 bonus dice.
Okay.
It's raining. It's dark.
I'm
They're
an elf.
around a fire. You're an elf.
Ninja. Okay, I already have a 3 in stealth, so
Yeah,
that
so
makes it a
it's
5.
5d6. And are you favored in stealth?
I'm not, no.
Yeah, so just your feet die. And what's your target number for this?
Target number's 14 in wits. That's a 29.
With 1 success.
Yeah. I engage my predator cloaking device.
So it happens a lot more on cuts people never see in a movie or show. But sometimes the boom mic is just in the shot.
Yeah, sure.
Except in this case where these 5 guys are around a fire in these gray pilgrim robes. Like Easel's head just descends slowly from above. From nowhere. Somehow he is just above them in the trees, eavesdropping.
What a fantastic fucking
And it just slowly goes back up. And these are all men, Easel confirms.
Okay.
They're disguised as pilgrims, but underneath you can see brown woolen coats and trousers, heavy bladed knives, bows. It looks like the kind of gear that you encountered in the bandit camp.
So they're not supernatural men or anything like that. They're not like...
No.
Okay.
They're not ring wraiths.
Okay, cool.
One of them is grousing, "The rider should have been here yesterday. He'll be here when he gets here." And so they just keep talking about this rider from the east that they're waiting for. And so otherwise they talk about the game in the local area. They start playing dice at one point before eventually, if Easel lingers long enough, they start going to sleep for the evening.
Any keeping watch?
Yeah, there's one guy that keeps watch. They do talk about their watch schedule. They're not totally incompetent. So.
All right, so then Easel knows exactly what to expect as far as
Yes.
shift changes.
Yeah. I believe the best move to make here, my little friends, is I will kill the lookout with my bow. And then we can cut throats of the sleeping ones.
I was just thinking the same goddamn thing.
Yes.
Now, murdering non-orcs does generate shadow.
Yes, we know.
FYI. Well, it's fine. As long as you know.
What I mean to say is I will incapacitate the...
No, okay, shooting the sentry would be totally legit.
Yeah.
Okay.
I do have a suggestion if you guys are wanting to avoid shadow points. I don't necessarily give a shit about avoiding shadow points.
We know, Manson.
Yeah. I just want to know if this writer they're waiting on is a writer of songs, of poetry, or fables, or myths.
Well, it's probably a writer of the road.
No, an author is showing up
Yes.
tomorrow. it's just a guy. I'm working on his book.
He's doing a signing tomorrow.
Oh,
You're right, Todd. That's a way better idea than I had.
Yeah. Oh, look, it's Dean Koontz.
Please, this is Tolkien.
Yeah.
It's Danielle Steele.
Glad it's not Thomas Pynchon.
Undead Danielle Steele.
So maybe instead of cutting their throats, I will take out the sentry, and then we can pounce on the sleeping gentleman. At least get advantage on trying to capture them, because we do want information as well. Because Gilraen sure as fuck didn't tell us nothing.
I started to say,
We need a new patron.
It would be relatively easy to just try and tie them up and subdue them while they were asleep.
You know what? Being an hobbit, I am all down for some pouncing.
Yeah, that's what they do.
I often associate hobbits and bouncing.
Yeah, I can't wait for laser pens to get invented so I can shine it and watch him bound about the room, chasing the elusive red dot.
So whoever is sneaking down there, which I presume is all of you,
Yep.
make stealth checks. Corey, yours, we're just going to let yours ride.
Okay. Should they get any kind of boons because most of them are sleeping?
It's still raining. It is still pitch black. And yeah, good point. They're all sleeping now except for one guy, so they get 3 extra dice.
Damn.
Their stealth roll.
Oh shit! I'm already favored and have a 3 in stealth.
Oh yeah.
You know, Todd,
The bungo just turns invisible.
you don't even have to roll, Todd.
Okay, thanks.
Austin, it's really on Zip at this point.
Yeah.
They can't see me.
All right. So my target number for wits is a 15, and I'm rolling my feet die and 4d6. Oh, that's a bunch of low numbers.
Oh,
Did you roll
I rolled the Sauron.
Eye of Sauron?
Christ.
I rolled the Sauron.
Zip.
Oh, wait, that's not a failure, is it?
Not automatically. It counts as a 0.
So I rolled an 11.
And your target number is, I'm assuming, higher than 11.
Yeah, it's a 15.
Just for the folks at home, how many dice did you roll?
I rolled a total of 5 die. 4d6 and a d12.
There's a very gentle slope descending from the greenway to the scopes of trees. Zip already navigated it once. He knew it was there. He knew the path he was taking. He was actually showing Bungo the right way to go. And then he steps in a rabbit hole. And the night comes alive with the sound of a dwarf in full heavy armor tumbling down a rain-soaked hillside, slams into a tree. The sentry immediately becomes instantly aware of something, is about to shout. Easel has one chance to make a bow shot to take this guy out. It is hasty. You're at -1d to do it.
Okay.
If you fail, obviously he alerts the rest of the camp.
Okay.
Oh, Austin, you also take 1 point of endurance.
So my target number in strength is 14.
Right.
I normally have 3 in bows. That knocks it down to a 2.
Do you want to spend any hope?
Be a great time for it.
No. Should have used a hope. That's a total 8. I shoot Zip.
The sentry stands, is about to shout they're here. An arrow hits him in the chest, and he goes down, but he's not dead, so he's just blood-curdling, screaming.
Gurgling.
As he dies, the rest of the bandits come alive, just jumping out of their sleep sacks, drawing swords, tumbling around in the dark. What's going on? Who is it? We're in combat.
Okay.
There are 4 of these feigned pilgrims.
I assume we're already in close formation or close quarters.
No, we'll do opening volleys. I mean,
okay.
They're getting their wits about them. They're not in battle-ready formation. Yeah, so opening volleys is if you've got a bow or a short spear, you can engage in range combat. I think everybody has at least one of those, right?
Yeah.
So who is engaging in a ranged attack?
Me.
Zip.
Bungo has a spear.
All right, who wants to go first?
Ezel wants to redeem himself.
Fair enough.
Cool.
So Ezel draws his bow. He shoots at the smelliest one.
Yeah, he identified.
Dirty Pete.
Yeah, he identified that one earlier. Dirty Pete.
What does your elf nose smell?
Roll your bow.
Okay. Am I no longer at disadvantage? Or
Correct. You're no
or
longer
minus a
acting
die, what have you.
hastily.
Okay.
So yeah.
Okay, target number again is 14.
Yup.
It's 3 dice from my bow. You know what? Fucking Austin. That's a 10.
Ezel is just firing arrows into this camp. The problem is these guys are so disoriented. They're just moving completely randomly, snatching stuff off the ground. It makes no sense. Who's going next?
All right, it's killing time. Now it's time for Zip.
What is Zip? Does Zip have a bow?
Yeah, and proficient skill with it.
Oh, okay.
Jesus.
All right, so Zip's going to just run screaming at this campfire, firing his bow at the nearest bandit
That
and try and
sounds-
get into close quarters combat as soon as possible. Because whatever he lacks in subtlety, he makes up for in lack of subtlety.
That does sound very zippish.
Yeah.
Roll your bow.
Okay, so I have a skill of 2 in bows.
And Todd, you can go ahead and roll your spear as well. I assume you're throwing one.
I am.
Hurling.
So my target number in strength is a 14. I rolled a 14 exactly.
Okay. Todd?
Well, I have a 1 in spear. My target number is 17. So I'm rolling 1d6 and 1d12, correct?
Unless you want to add some hope.
I would like to add hope. Brings my hope down to 15. That's 13, although my target number is 17.
So a spear arcs up into the air, over these false pilgrims, and into the woods beyond.
And again, Bungo loses his spear.
Hey,
A frog's croak is cut off.
hey, if they run off, they're going to hit their shins.
That's true.
right.
Yeah. But Zip's arrow is fired true. How much damage does Zip do?
Damage of 3.
One of these pilgrims catches an arrow to the face,
Nice.
goes tumbling into the darkness,
Hiya, fellas. That was from Zip.
and then Zip is among them with his mattock. We are in close quarters.
Ah!
You could have had a couple more rounds of range volley, but some tiny, frothy madman charged in. So, Austin, I assume Zip is forward.
Always.
So, all the bandits are going to be, or 2 of the bandits are forward, 1 is defensive. Corey,
Rearward.
Todd.
Open.
So, forward is resolved first. So, Austin, there's 2 bandits, 2 pilgrims ahead of you.
Can I swing at both of them?
You can swing at one of them, and then if it's ridiculous and I'm feeling generous, maybe other things happen.
Okay. Zip's swinging his axe, his mattock. So I have a 3 in axes, so that's a 3d6, and my target number for strength is 14. And I'm going to spend a hope for this and give myself an extra die just because I'm feeling froggy. I've got 2 successes. That's a total of 28. I rolled a 9 on the d12, so that means it's a piercing blow on my keen mattock. It normally does damage of 7, but on a piercing blow, Kyle, I believe that 18 is the target number to avoid injury.
Yeah. So do you want to describe how this man is dispatched?
Sure.
No.
So as the bandits watch Bungo's spear fly into the woods, one arrow spears one of them in the face and they fall over, and they look over just in time to see the blade of an axe hurling at the other one's face. And I cut him off like at the mouth, so like starting at his bottom lip, the whole top of his head just flies off.
Oh, wow.
Oh, just like the first wrong turn.
Sure, yeah.
yeah.
And then Zip kind of lands in a combat stance in front of the campfire and says, "Hi there, fellas," and swings at another one.
You've been spending too much time around Corey. So the other bandit in forward charges at Austin. He rolled 2 6s, a 5, and an 8.
Wow.
What is your parry? I assume-
14.
Yeah, he hits you, yeah.
Okay.
Zip is ready to attack again. Out of the darkness, this cudgel comes swinging through the air, smacks into his head. You take 5 points of endurance damage.
Yeah, okay. I'm fine.
That is the end of forward. It is now into open. Todd, you're in open.
Bungo is going to whip out his recorder and play a song to inspire his mates to victory.
Thank you.
Okay.
Here's a little toony-woony for you while you're fighty-whiting.
Thank you.
Weird.
Just a little thing on the recorder to spur you on to murder.
Okay.
Okay.
My Enhearten is 1, and I'm going to spend a hope to add another d6. Target number 13. Oh, there's a 6. A 16.
Cool. And what
Nice.
does it Hearten do? Give everybody an extra dice?
I don't know.
That gives everybody in the forward position an extra die, which will be applied to Austin's next roll.
Yep.
You're welcome, Zip.
You got a success on with another 6, so that also applies to anybody in open, so that applies to Bungo. There is a pilgrim on the defensive who hates the recorder, and he comes charging after Bungo.
No way.
He rolled a 14. What is Bungo's parry?
16.
Oh,
Damn.
Nice. Jesus.
Well, he's hard to hit.
yeah, he was...
Tiny.
I'm wee.
The darkness and the recorder disoriented the pilgrim enough that he just swings a club over Bungo's head. I hate the stupid sound! And it is Easel.
I feel like we need to try to keep one of these guys alive. I know how that worked out last time. Not great.
Yeah.
So, Ezel, there's one guy left, right?
There's 2 guys left.
2 guys left. Okay.
There's one man still in a forward position who did hit Zip, and the others on the defensive was trying to stop the recorder.
Okay, I'm going to go for the forward guy. Bowing again. 3 die, target number 14. Let's try this again. Okay, total of 24. And
well.
I did get a 6, so.
How much endurance damage do you do?
The damage with my great bow is 4
Would you roll in the d12?
and 11.
So that's automatically a piercing blow.
Or a heavy blow. I have both on my great bow.
Essentially, when they're mooks, a piercing blow just takes them out.
Okay.
So go ahead and narrate that, or if you wish, or I will.
Oh, I will narrate.
Yeah, I assumed.
So Ezel yells, "Hello, Steve Martin," as the guy's head turns
Oh my God.
Okay.
and go right through the ear. Not a wild and crazy guy anymore, are you? Twa.
I like to think that sound is always you disappearing into the shadows.
So the pilgrim that caught the arrow in his temple had just smacked Zip on the head with a cudgel, and he does it 2 or 3 more times, but there's nobody behind the wheel. It's just the muscle motion just locked in.
Get off, buddy.
And Zip just stumbles out of the way, and the guy just keeps swinging just right in front of him until he stumbles into a tree and falls down. And the final pilgrim, looking around, entrails around in blood, screaming from the woods, throws down his cudgel, raises his hands. I'm out. I'm out. I give up.
We will not kill you, foe pilgrim, but you're going to tell us who this rider is you're waiting for.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Is it the king that is called Stephen?
That is, it is actually based on Patreon member Stephen Ryder.
Oh,
Nice.
But this is Lord of the Rings, so the name Stephen does not exist.
hey.
So they just call him the Rider from the East.
Oh, okay.
He says, my name is Shreff, which is for Patreon member Scott Schreffler.
Hello.
But Scott does not exist in Tolkien, so it's just called him Shreff. Well, the Rider from the East is somebody from, well, somewhere bad.
Zip takes a step forward, still holding the blade of the axe. So
Oh my God, what's wrong with you?
you better tell us a little more than that, buddy.
And suddenly Bungo steps forward and stares him dead in the eye and plays his recorder more intensely.
He puts his hands over his ears. Oh, make it stop.
Stomps on his distortion pedal ever so hard.
And he explains that he doesn't really know who the rider from the East is. He just knows it's someone coming to get what they have in the wagon, and that someone is from Mordor.
What is in the wagon? I mean, we could look.
Yeah, dwarf.
Oh, well,
Uh-oh.
one more killing tonight. Here we go.
He seems taken aback by that, but just keeps his hands up, and
JK.
you're the boss.
All right, so what do you guys think? Do we tie him up and take him back, or do we have everything we need from him?
Sure, go ahead and tie him up there. I think we need to look in this wagon.
I say we take a look in the wagon.
Let me the fuck out of this fucking wagon, you cocksucking... Just the string of curses
Yeah,
keeps
sounds
going
about
on.
right.
Hey, I
yeah.
think that's my Uncle Rudy.
Yeah, well,
You pull the covers off the wagon, and there's a dwarf, rather rotund, gray beard, and locked in a cage much too small for him. He's kind of bent over, and his head is twisted. He's just glaring at you, beady dwarf eyes. You know how they are.
yeah. Dwarf, what is your name?
My name's Oper.
Opa.
named after Patreon member Derek Operly.
Sounds Patreonish.
Derek does not exist in Tolkien, so he's the dwarf Oper.
Opa, why are you in this cage?
Oh, these rot-gut fucking bastards!
Why do they need you? Why do they want you?
He gets a little pensive, looks around. Who are you with?
It doesn't matter if you don't tell us what what my buddy Easel's asking you. I'm gonna shave the beard off your face with my axe here.
Can we roll like a persuade or something?
Yeah, of course.
Here? Okay.
Yeah.
What do you guys have? I've got a 1 in persuade.
I do not.
I've got a 2.
Have at it there, Bungo. Because basically we want him to trust us, I guess, is what we're going for.
Yeah.
That is generally a good thing.
Yes,
To give
I
us
think so.
give us correct information.
Roll your persuade.
All right.
You can have an extra D6 because he is locked in cage,
All right.
and you did just kill his captors.
So that's 1d12 and 3d6.
And
And
one
my,
of you is real pretty.
and my target number is 16. That's a 9.
Ooh.
What are you? You're tiny and ugly.
I'm an hobbit.
We could be your saviors tonight. We could leave you in this cage, my dwarven friend.
I mean, you can try and intimidate.
All right, I have 2 in all. Would that work?
Yes. However, you're going to be at minus 1D because he is an old, angry, stubborn, stupid dwarf.
I'm gonna spend a point of hope.
Okay.
And so as Zip is kind of muttering his little threats, he just lets the axe fall heavily right next to the cage. And my target number for strength is 14. I rolled a 20.
The dwarf looks around. Well, I guess if you were the enemy, you wouldn't be asking me questions.
We just killed your damn captors, man. Dang.
They're after me because I can tell you. They want me because I know how to figure out where Thráin hid it. Thráin, son of Thrall.
Grandson of Thru?
So Zip would especially know this. The previous king of the mountain in the east, Erebor. Thráin was his son. Thorin Oakenshield is the one who reclaims it. So Thráin would
Gotcha.
be Thorin's father.
Gotcha. So Zip's going to turn into Batman from Batman versus Superman for a second and be like, why did you say that name?
And he says, I know where Thráin hid the Ring of Durin.
Are you shitting me?
Oh, shit.
The Ring of Durin?
Let me just say, as an hobbit, nothing good comes from there being rings.
That has not happened yet.
Just let me say, as an hobbit who can see into the future, rings bad.
And we'll end there.
All right.
So, again, Zip and Easel would know this. The Ring of Durin is one of the rings given to the dwarves. One of the
3, I believe?
well, there's 3 rings for elves,
Oh, it was for elves.
6 for dwarves, 9 for men.
Yeah.
And all of the dwarf rings are believed lost. But
Shit.
apparently one of them is not. But yeah, that will be the end of tonight's adventure.
Cool.
And likely this will lead into other adventures.
I can't imagine.
So yeah, it was just a short one tonight since we
Yeah,
had
cool.
the fellowship phase.
Yeah, we had to do that, all that fellowship.
Oh, yeah. I enjoyed the fellowship, though.
I did too.
It was
It
a
was a
nice
good chance
time.
to get back into the game.
Yeah, we don't often get to hang and like Scrabble and things.
So thank you to our Patreon members,
Yeah.
2 of which are in this. Well, I guess 3 actually.
Yeah, 3.
I hadn't planned for Shref to be there,
Well,
but he is
I like to think that Scott Schreffler is always there.
always.
Yeah.
Looming.
And speaking of always being there, a very special thank you to our Patreon subscribers just because it's been, how long have we been doing this now, guys?
almost a year. We
Yeah.
launched in December of last year. We're creeping towards the end of October, so you know we're
And a lot of you have been with us for a very long time.
yes. Thank you very much, and we get new people all the time, which is very nice. And you know, it's one thing for us to, you know, our friends to sign up. Those are empty likes. We don't care. No, I'm joking, of course, but like we've gotten a lot of Patreon people that we don't know from faraway lands such as Louisiana and such.
Louisiana and Florida.
Yeah, the Louisiana, the Mordor of the South. But no, that's Alabama. I'm sorry.
Yeah. So,
But yeah, that's amazing, and it's great to get to chat with you guys. Like, feel free to message us as much as you like. You're not bothering us. It's been great to get your feedback and just to chat.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
And if you are one of our patrons, patrons, feel free to suggest things that you would like to hear us do.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
We want this podcast to be entertaining for everyone, but if you're a Patreon subscriber, we especially want to make you happy.
Yeah, we will make Austin eat 50 eggs.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
I was mainly thinking games we might play, but that sounds good.
I mean,
Well, I'm already on 23.
I think challenges
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
each individual bastard would be fun.
One man Russian roulette.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, one thing, we haven't really harped a lot on this podcast is reviews, but I have an incentive. If you're a Patreon member or just a listener, for one, if you're a listener and you're not a Patreon member and you want to be on the podcast, leave us a review, send us the screenshot, and I'll work you in as an NPC.
There
If
you
you're
go.
a Patreon member and you leave a review on any of the podcast places, you'll be an NPC and you won't die immediately.
Yeah. Cool.
I mean, eventually probably you will because these are murderers.
But the key word being immediately.
Immediately.
Yeah.
See, Scott lived tonight.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, he's going to be eaten by wolves when he leaves the light of the fire.
Oh,
Oh,
sure.
yeah, because we didn't take him anywhere. He's
Yeah.
still tied up back in the field. We're already back in Bree again.
Yeah, but for now, he's alive.
Yeah, we haven't harped on that a whole lot, but if you guys do have the time to like and rate us and review us on the iTunes app or whatever app you use, really,
Yeah.
that'd be very much appreciated. And we also don't really talk about our social media stuff a lot. Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook are there for you.
And we'd also like to thank our sponsor, Barrel and Bond.
Barrel and Bond.
Barrel and Bond, the only bathroom. You can do whatever you want.
It's actually like international waters.
It is.
Yeah.
I've killed
Several people have
Yeah.
gone missing.
Yeah.
I've killed 7 people in that bathroom.
You can buy duty-free cigarettes.
Absolutely.
It's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
And it's all protected by NATO.
That's right. Yeah, it is part of the North Atlantic
And a
Treaty Organization.
Minotaur.
He's
No,
really
but
nice, though.
Barrel and Bond, 100 Broadway, downtown Paducah, Kentucky. It's an amazing bourbon bar with great people inside of it.
So, thank you for listening. I'm Kyle.
I'm Todd.
Corey.
I'm Austin.